Hi, thanks for joining a new video. Today we're unboxing the Motorola Edge 60 Fusion. Let's begin. This particular device was just launched in Mexico and it comes with a price tag of 8,999 pesos. On your screen you can see the reference price in dollars just to give you a general idea, but keep in mind that the prices here are different from those over there. Now that we know the price, how about you join me as we unbox the device to check out what's inside. We gather here to begin by looking at the cell phone that arrives in this wrapper and cover. Let's take it out from here so that we can get to know it a bit more directly. You'll immediately notice that it is a device with a curved screen. In fact, this particular model not only features curves on the left and right sides, but also on the top and bottom, which provides you with a unique experience. Scrolling is incredibly smooth and comfortable. Truly, it's spectacular for user experience. However, shortly, we'll delve into more detail about the handset itself. For now, let's concentrate a bit more on what's included with the device. As the device powers up, let's take a moment to examine the cable that comes with it, which is a USB-C to USB-C. This is excellent news. The new charger also gives us a modern experience, not perceived as old as other chargers that come with USB-A. Also, the fact that it comes included in. The box is appreciated, you don't have to buy it separately, although Motorola is making some strange decisions lately, so maybe in some regions this could vary. Then make sure to thoroughly check where you plan to purchase it in your country. Now, let's finally take a look at the charger included here, which is rated at 68 watts. This is quite impressive for this price range. However, in the video review, we will carefully analyze whether it actually reaches a power level close to its maximum limit, at least at some points during the charging process, or if it never quite approaches that level. So for the moment, that's what you'll find in the box. However, let me take a closer look because it seems that there might be a bit more content on the back of the cover. Just as you notice, make sure to take a good look so you don't miss this. Now, it seems we are going to find the cover here, but let me see exactly where we open it. I believe it's right here, and take a look. It includes the daily papers that are used all the time. We are also going to locate the tool needed to remove the SIM card tray. But here's the crucial part. If it includes a case, then the box is very complete, containing both the case and the charger. Additionally, in this particular instance, we are not referring to an overly simple case. In other words, it won't be a fully transparent and entirely flexible case that will eventually turn yellow. Rather, I'm going to express my frustration over the fact that it is a case made from recycled materials, which is quite nice, and it also matches the color of the device perfectly. So in this situation, the phone indeed looks quite attractive without any case, thanks to its soft faux leather finish. However, I wouldn't mind using it with a case at all because, as I mentioned, it retains much of the aesthetic appeal that the device possesses even without a case, which is really quite good. From Motorola. Right from the start, we appreciate that the box includes a charger case. The overall feel is quite impressive and of high quality. Now, let's take a closer look and concentrate on the phone itself. I have the device here to quickly go over its specs. Starting with design, it's 7.95mm thick and weighs 177.5 g. It's a very light device and feels thinner due to its curved front and back cover and very comfortable in the hand. It also has IP68 and also IP69, so it can be submerged. It also has military certification, resisting conditions of very high temperatures or high pressure, and in general extreme climates, and on the front, it comes protected with Gorilla Glass. So I think it is a device that will be quite resistant, although I would have liked to see maybe a metallic frame for the front of the device. Try to protect the device a bit more from falls, given that it has a curved screen, which often makes it feel more delicate. The screen measures 6.67 inches diagonally, featuring a OLED panel with a resolution of 1080x2100 and 712 pixels. It's going to be a very good display indeed. It also has stereo sound with a speaker on the bottom and another speaker in the earpiece area for calls. And as you see here, it comes with Dolby Atmos. The sound experience in first impressions has left me very satisfied. It sounds of good quality. The front camera is 32 megapixels with f-aperture 2.2 and fixed focus. Although it must be said, in reality the photos won't be 32 megapixels, but rather 8 megapixels. This is because of the fusion process that Motorola uses, which they refer to as quad pixel. It merges 4 pixels into one. If you prefer high-resolution photos, you can adjust the settings to configure it this way, allowing the photos to potentially come out with a bit more detail. So that would be more or less the difference. However, here you can see the comparative view between these two photographs. Notice how the device will actually perform quite well once the picture is taken by optimizing both highlights and shadows effectively. It provides a sufficiently high level of detail, although detail isn't its strongest point, but at least it maintains good color quality. By the way, keep in mind that the screen, in combination with the camera, will provide you with this HDR technology. This technology allows you to enhance the brightness of certain specific areas of the screen, offering depth with superior realism when you're viewing compatible content. On the back, we will discover a 50 megapixel main camera, which in this case has an aperture of f1.8 and it is accompanied by an ultra-wide camera. 13 megapixels with f2.2 aperture autofocus, so it also works as a macro camera. And finally, here is a flicker sensor that in theory would help us take better pictures and videos when we are in artificial light environments such as lamps and the like. This sensor will help avoid that flickering sensation that could be generated in some devices. But now, let's take a closer look at the results we have here. Starting with the ultra-wide camera, I noticed that the colors don't appear quite as true to life as one might hope. They seem somewhat altered or enhanced, giving the image a slightly different look. However, despite this, the overall quality of the picture remains quite good. Moving on to the main camera, it tends to capture colors with a bit more accuracy. It emphasizes the shadows significantly, which is interesting. It appears that it doesn't compensate as much for the lighting in the darker areas, unlike most other cameras that usually do. This gives a distinct character to the images it produces. Of devices with 2x zoom. The good news is that it seems to maintain a good level of detail, although I wouldn't say 100% optical, but it looks well-detailed image. Now you're looking at the 5x zoom picture, and in this case it was quite windy, so you do get to notice some ghosting in the pictures. And lastly, let's talk about the photography capabilities at a 10x zoom, which is the maximum zoom of this device. I don't believe it will stand out significantly, especially when considering that previous generations of the Motorola Edge have likely decreased in price and could offer a better alternative. This is particularly true for those versions that come equipped with a telephoto lens. In this particular case, we do not have a telephoto lens included, so before deciding to purchase this device, I strongly recommend considering previous generations. They might offer competitive pricing compared to this option. When it comes to video recording, observe that on the back here, we will find K, but it's only available at 30 frames per second. If you wish to achieve 60 frames per second, the resolution will decrease to Full HD. Take note that with the ultra-wide camera, we are able to record in this resolution. Additionally, with the front camera, we will have 4K available as well. The battery is 5200 mAh, and I am truly impressed to see such a great capacity battery in such a slim device. It also supports 68 watts charging with Motorola turbocharge included in the box. There are certainly positives to be discovered here. For some reason, the fast charging feature is initially turned off, so keep that in mind. In our situation, we will need to conduct 2 separate tests. This device is equipped with Android 15, featuring some customizations by Motorola, which introduce additional options. Notably, Moto AI includes various actions, such as a feature called I Missed That, providing a summary of your notifications. Additionally, there's a playlist studio, which can connect to services like Amazon Music, enabling the creation of playlists tailored to your specific needs, regarding your tastes. Additionally, we will discover various customization tools here, including an option to save our memories. In summary, there are several artificial intelligence features that the manufacturer will emphasize. However, I will go through them in detail point by point in the video review. The device comes equipped with 8 GB of physical RAM, and you also have the option to add virtual RAM, even though I do not recommend it so much, and it comes with 256 GB of storage. Finally, the processor is the MediaTek Dimensity 7300. Here are some reference numbers, if you do not know very well the performance that is capable of achieving this processor in. Geekbench with a single-core test reached 1100 points, while the multi-core test reached 2981 points. That is, it would give us similar numbers. Regarding the Snapdragon 7S Gen 2, it is a bit higher than the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 if you want some points of reference. However, I must emphasize that in the video review, we will conduct more focused testing to truly understand the performance this cell phone can achieve. As of now, we've reached the conclusion of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know you can express it, and we'll see each other again next time.